have in the prime time slot on Saturday, you have the New England Patriots going back up to Old Orchard Park against the Buffalo Bills. The point spread is at 4. Who do you got? Pats, Bills, round 3. I feel like this is Rocky Balboa, Apollo Creed. What are we gonna get in this slugfest? What are we gonna get in the rubber match?
Well, Puma, I'm a Patriots fan. I love my team. I wanted this matchup so bad because Bill Patriots Part 3 is going to be must-watch TV, right? It's a rubber match. It's a tiebreaker for the season. And I want so badly to want the Patriots to win this game. However, I just can't see it. I can't logically bring myself to pick the Patriots to win this game because I've seen this team, we've talked about this a little bit earlier, have 3 different seasons in one season. They had the abysmal start where they were 2-4. They had the big winning streak where they went 7 straight wins in a row. And now they've lost 3 out of the last 4 to close out the season. And they look like they're regressing. Mac Jones looks like he's regressing. The defense can't stop a nosebleed. I in good conscience cannot pick them to win this game. And I was hoping going to the Miami game, obviously the last 4 games we lost to the Bills, we lost to the Colts, we won against the Jags, but really, I mean, who cares? It's the Jags. But I was hoping this last week against the Miami Dolphins, we would be able to get some mojo back, play a good team, feel good about ourselves, go into the playoffs strong. However, the defense comes out, gives up 7 points immediately, and then Mac Jones on the next drive throws a pretty brutal interception that he's telegraphed all the way, and the defender picks it off and takes it back, and you're down by 14 points immediately. And if that's the case, if the Patriots get down by 14 points, they're done for. They cannot, Mac Jones just cannot throw them back into the game, right? The Patriots can win this game one way and one way only, is if they play from ahead, if they front run, if they run the ball really well, if they play good defense from ahead. If they get down or it's close, I have no faith in Mac Jones and the Patriots team to win out. And the whole Mac Jones thing, I've been really hard on him lately just because I view the quarterback position in a different light than most people. I think the quarterback position is by far the most important, especially in today's NFL. A lot of people have misguided comments that say that, well, you need a good defense to win and you need a good running attack. And yes, that's fine to have, but in today's NFL, not the 1980s NFL, you've got to have a quarterback that's going to be able to throw you for at least 30 points to win the game. You're not going to have a standout performance every single week from your defense. You will eventually need your quarterback to ride you home, and Mac Jones just isn't that guy.
Mm-hmm. I completely agree. I'm with you. I got the Bills winning this game. It's at 4 for betting purposes. I wouldn't look at you funny if you put money down on New England to cover the 4. But Jay, I'm at the point where I think the crucial win and win in convincing fashion, even though they did leave points on the field in the second round of this matchup in Foxborough, I think that really kind of brought Sean McDermott back down to earth, because I said this on the pod right after the Bills lost at home against the Pats, that I think Sean McDermott gets way too amped up and he gets outside of himself. And doesn't coach a great game when he's going up against the Pats and Bill Belichick. I think we're going to see a similar game plan. I think he's going to keep the old man off his A game. You're going to see the Bills go for it a little bit more on 4th down to shake things up with the game plan for New England. Even the secondary for the Bills, even with the loss of Tre'Davious White, they ended the season as the number 1 defense in the NFL. So this defense is legit. The secondary can do its job. I say it all the time. Starlu Talele, if he's able to go, he's been in and out of the lineup this year with COVID and other health issues and whatnot. But if he's able to go and doesn't have a snap count, he is going to be crucial to plugging the run that the New England Patriots are going to try to force down their throats. The Mac Jones thing, spot on. I talked about this around the Colts game, where Mac Jones, to me, is not the type of dude that's going to throw you back into a game. If you get into a hole, it is going to be a tough task to get out of it. And, I mean, we saw it 3 out of the last 4 games. Like you said, the Jacksonville game doesn't really count because it's the Jags. Well, the Colts might like a word, but it's the Jags. But he's not going to throw you back into a game. It's been a lot of pity parties around there of the bye week and how, that screwed them up, and they feel like they might be getting railroaded with this game here because it's at 8:15 on a Saturday. There's just so much, to me, a little bit of turmoil in the locker room about feeling slighted, which normally, Jay, correct me if I'm wrong, if Brady was in that locker room and they felt like there was a slight, that was bulletin board material to add as fuel to get them to the Super Bowl that year. Again, correct me if I'm wrong, but that's kind of what I grew up with New England and Tom Brady at the helm. But I'm going with the Bills laying the 4 points. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe they won by 10, but I'm going with the Buffalo Bills and Josh Allen just running all over them.
No, you got a good point about the Patriots because, we used to be, and I say this all the time, the vaunted New England Patriots. It wasn't even just about, the talent we had on the field. It was our mindset. It was the fact that we were coming in, we were going to wreck your shit. And now we have guys, like just soft players, individuals in our locker room talking about, bye weeks and not having enough days off in the bye weeks. And they felt sorry for themselves. And I just... This goes back to my original point that has caused a fissure in my division of fandom for Patriots fandom. Like, Bill Belichick is the guy that pushed Tom Brady out the door. This is what he wanted. Bill Belichick wanted this moment exactly right now because he wanted to go into a playoff game with a average quarterback, with a good defense, and with a running attack. And he was going to outcoach the other team. And now he has this chance. This is on you, Bill Belichick, to show us what you're made of. Because we all remember that quote that he, famously gave to Ian O'Connor about how, we could win with an average quarterback. It wasn't all Brady. And just to remind the people, since Brady has left the Patriots in the regular and postseason, he's 28 of 9. He's 28 wins and 9 losses, 93 touchdowns, 11,000 passing yards, and a quarterback rating of 101. You tell me where the drop-off is, and you tell me if that guy isn't worth 2 years, $25 million a year.
Mm-hmm.
So it's on Bill. I mean, this is his moment to shine. This is what he wanted. I think with the Buffalo Bills, they're gonna have players back that they didn't have in the second meeting with Cole Beasley, and who was the other receiver that had COVID as well? Was it something Evans or something Lee? Who was it?
Gabe Davis.
Yes, Gabe. My bad. So Gabe Davis and Cole Beasley are going to be back. I think that's going to cause even more fits for the Patriots secondary because if you spread these guys out and you essentially put Jalen Mills on an island, if I'm Josh Allen, I'm looking for number 2 every single play until the Patriots force him to do something else.
Mm-hmm. And it's funny. So this game, there may be some inclement weather going on. It's Buffalo. It's in the wintertime. There's always a chance of lake effect snow. I guess it's going to be, pretty. It's going to be below freezing at kickoff. Jay, I saw this poll. I feel like NBC Sports Boston may have taken it down, but the poll essentially was if the weather's going to be pretty bad and the Pats end up in a bit of a hole, should they go to Brian Hoyer?
Oh,
that is where
God.
We're at. Now
I understand
what NBC Sports is doing. They're trying to generate traffic, but the fact that is a question that people are asking, and the messed up thing is like people actually voted yes, like you should put Brian Hoyer in there if the weather gets bad and you find yourself in a little bit of a hole. That tells you everything you need to know.
Well,
everything you need to know.
I'm so disheartened to hear that. I mean, the fact that we're even at that point, and I get it. Sometimes media outlets can be outlandish to drive traffic. I get that, but is there any other market in the NFL that's doing this? Is the New York market saying they should be benching Zach Wilson? I mean, would they ever say this about Brady? Obviously, no, because Brady's a different category. But that's just so disheartening. That just ruined my night, Puma. And I'm looking at the weather right now. The weather, it says, I'll let you finish in a second, but I am concerned with the weather because the wind could get up to 7 miles per hour. And that is concerning for Mac Jones, who has issues throwing when the air conditioning is set on high,
So the poll, it's actually still up. They didn't take it down. 78% voted no, you leave Mac Jones in there. But 22% of the folks in a poll that 19,772 people voted on, 22% said, yeah, put Brian Hoyer in.
Puma, can I have a confession?
Yep.
I was watching that Miami Dolphins game, and in the back of my mind, it creeped in. is Jarrett Stidham able to go in?
Oh shit!
I'm not lying to you. I'm not lying to you. And I don't know what's going on with Jarrett Stidham. I don't know if I think he's off the IR now and he can play. But listen, like, I'm not trying to pile on Mac Jones, and maybe in the future he can turn out to be something that we don't see just yet. But I was more than fair to Mac Jones in the first half of the season. I gave him his time to grow without any criticism. However, I have not seen any progress at all from him. I cannot point to one thing he's doing better now than he did in week 1 of the NFL season. I can't point to one marquee game that he won. Like, I guess if you want to point to the Cleveland Browns win, I guess that one, sure. But looking back on it now, Cleveland was ravaged with COVID, and they basically gave up on defense. Myles Garrett was talking after the game about how they didn't even adjust on the fly. So I'm concerned that Mac Jones isn't getting better. I'm not talking about his statistical performance. I'm talking about, can he hold his zone? Can he look through the Miami Dolphins blitz defense and see where to put the ball instead of airmailing it or fumbling it or throwing pick sixes? I think he's regressing, and that's a concern because usually you're supposed to build towards the end of a rookie season.
Mm-hmm.
So.
Yep. Fun times.
But as Chris Gasper of the Boston Globe said, you can't say that stuff because the woke Mac mob will come after you.
The woke.
Unbelievable. Can't say anything.
You hate to see it.
Ugh, hate to see it. I'm gonna move on before I really divulge into the whole Mac Jones topic. And I use his full name, so that's always a good thing as well, right?
Yep. Look at that. This is a big step, Jay. It's a big step.